Sunday Scoops time, Mr. Big G.
Yes, sir.
We now complain, kind of nobody now going to listen.
That you not listen, we just don't care.
At least I want to get in. Your mother, anyway, she's supposed to look up by herself to be picked with that.
Yeah, man, we speak her mind. We don't have to hide and live. Assassin.
You don't have to feel sorry. That's the problem.
We just say it straightforward. Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Scoops. And if you're joining us, wherever you're joining us from, big thanks. I know Miss M, you're watching. So good afternoon, sir. And, welcome to today when we have a tribute to one of the greatest musicians to ever grace the face of the planet. And he's right up there with Mozart, and I'm not take back my chat.
Well, you should.
So we see.
You know, there's a saying, Jamaica is or has been gifted in respect of the talent department, and especially in the music thing. It's like Jamaica is a beacon. You know what I'm saying? You have this constellation of stars, and Jamaica have
Alpha Centauri.
I don't know what that means.
That's the nearest star to the planet.
In the constellation of stars that Jamaica has, there are a few
that burn bright,
who just burn so bright. And in my opinion, and I'm sure you agree with me,
Kingsley Michael
Ibo Cooper,
yes, sir,
burns among the brightest of Jamaican musical stars.
I know we can piano,
a man who had a vision for the music, and he lived that vision. And of course, look at the good Lord take a shine for him and decides you need to come as I am, come try up here so. And so they basically take him off to Zion last week Thursday. And so today we are going to dedicate the whole 2 hours of our program to recalling the memory, revisiting the pool of talent that this man sprang from.
And I know, Richard, that today is one of those days where it's going to be more talk and less music. But because there's going to be less music, I sprinkle it off with this one. So another Jaja child has moved up.
Yeah, I'm just, as I listen to the song, I remember my first time listening to or taking in Third World live at the Little Theatre. Would have been 1976 or 77. I remember. They had this concert, Explantations, and the impact, both visual and the acoustic impact on the audience was something else, because for years later we talked about that concert, and there was a follow-up concert the following year at Michael Auditorium on Marasca Road, right across from the Water Commission installation. And Third World, a group of young men, those guys couldn't have been more than what? Would have been
late teens, early
20s. But their mastery of the craft, how they utilize the delivery, the lyrics. It wasn't the kind of lovey-dovey software where we get from the soul music, but it wasn't the rough and tumble of the hardcore reggae.
It had finesse.
Yes, but the message was
finesse, but the message was still the same.
And so, that's my recollection. We are going to be joined as we deliver this program today by a number of people. And I think standing by in the wings, we have none other than the Honorable Oliver Mayer, General of Jamaica in Miami, in the southern United States. And so we are going to, invite Consul General to pay his own respect. Consul General, by the way, is the chief cultural man, as far as I am concerned, and I'm pretty sure you to be G.
I'm not gonna choice.
G cultural man.
Next thing, my passport get the car.
Jamaica, right here in South Prague. CG, welcome to Sunday School.
Happy to be on the program. Thanks for always remembering me. Big G, big up yourself. And yeah, man, it's. I want to first of all congratulate you both, the work that you continue to do and your production team, because this message is so important. Celebrating our artists, celebrating our culture, and doing this on a consistent basis. I was there when you had the idea, you discussed it. I know it's a reality and it's making a difference. So big up to you, first of all.
Big up to the team.
Definitely.
Yeah. And big up yourself to CG, because without you guys and the support, moral and otherwise,
Continuous support.
Yeah, wouldn't happen. But you would have. I mean, I know you're a little pipsqueak, but you say breast milk and run on by the outside. When third world just come through the gate, But CG, you're a man of the culture as well, a man who have been in the the performing era yourself. Your thoughts on not just third world per se, but Ibo Cooper's role in the delivery of Jamaican music culture.
Let me tell you, you will speak to many stalwarts today about his life, his work, his accomplishments. But third world, Ibo Cooper, even though I didn't have the honor of meeting Ibo personally, certainly third world has played a significant role in my life personally. I mean, one of the first events I came to as a consul general was where we were celebrating Inner Circle. And Inner Circle has been one of my, I don't want to say one of my biggest supporters, but they have become like a family to me. I mean, literally, anytime there's an event taking place at Inner Circle, whether a little vibing at the house, I'll always get a call from one of the brothers. But Ibo Cooper was one of the founding members of Inner Circle. And out of that group, some of the members later formed Third World, which I'm sure you will speak about. And both groups have had tremendous impact on our reggae music. When I did my first production called Rhythm of Life, I used the song from Third World as a theme song. Nice up yourself in the rhythm of life. And that was significant. So, and that production was a huge success, if I might say so. And the group was formed, Rhythm of Life, and the production also had the same name. In one of my first productions, when I was at first presentations to board of directors at Jamaica Broilers, I coined one of the strategies that we would be using, Irie, and use a piece of the song Irie from Third World during the presentation. And the song just wowed everybody in the room. Everybody just loved Irie. And these are two of the songs that if you listen to the current repertoire from Third World, they tend not to use Rhythm of Life and Irie. But these were big hits. But Ibo, getting back to Ibo, the fact that he was a part of these two founding groups would have to put him in the legendary status, because Inner Circle and Third World, both groups have done tremendous work for reggae music.
True.
And when I got the news, that he had passed, and knowing Arif Cooper, who had passed earlier, his son, and his son was married to Simone. And Simone was actually in one of my productions called Laugh It Off. I'm just showing you how closely everything connect up. His wife, I believe, was with Air Jamaica, which I had served. And 3 deaths, in short order is not a normal. In less than a year. It's tragic.
His wife transited last month.
Last month. And so my condolences to the family. I mean, we and the entire musical fraternity and their immediate children, you know, we send our deepest condolences to them. But his legacy will live on, his contribution, and the fact that he went on to become a lecturer, to give back to our students. And I didn't have the privilege of actually sitting in one of his classes, but I got feedback and heard that he was one of the finest lecturers ever to go to Edna Manley. And so
I'm gonna do a little taste, CG, because since you never had the opportunity to sit in on his lecture, we are gonna give you a little taste of one of his lectures. We had the honor and the distinction of having Ibo Cooper as a guest on a program he did, would have been in November of last year, God.
Yeah,
And we were talking about, I think Lloyd Stanberry was also in that program, where we're looking at the standards in the music and talking about, you know, the impact of the mood was, is there a disappearance of bands? And so Ibo agreed to come on the show, and he gave us 2 hours. I think we should put that lecture together and send it to the Edna Manley for them to play that to his students. But we're gonna give you a taste. Let's give you the first excerpt from that lecture.
Is what is happening at the source, Jamaica, in terms of the creation of the unit, generally referred to the band, which is the center of the music. What's happening in Jamaica as far as that is concerned?
All right, I just want to make one correction quickly.
Yes, sir.
I don't have gray hair, white hair, or silver hair.
All right.
By virtue of the experience that I've gone into it, this is platinum.
Yes.
Okay.
I got it.
Right. Yeah, it's an expensive journey. You know what I mean?
Far. I agree with you. Platinum is right.
Yeah. Yes, a platinum. Yeah, so there's no me as a platinum dread. No, as the thing said, all the thing said is that because I never had any. Believe it or not, I didn't have any of this in the 70s either. It never appeared until almost the 90s. Anyway, that's another matter.
Right.
So when you look at it now, I have now been at the Edna Manley College as a senior lecturer for 21 years.
Wow.
21 years. And 2 years ago, when they had the last Sumfest live, the last before the COVID thing. So this was the last one on stage in Montego Bay.
Right.
I sat at the stage side, you know, observing the show. And I was very proud, and I know it might sound like a beat in my own chest, but I was very proud to see all of my students coming on stage, either as headliners or performing with all of the big name artists. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2.
Right.
These were, in other words, in a way, I have inadvertently created a whole new generation of players of instruments through that program. I am responsible for, I was brought there, I was asked to teach there, and I'll tell you why. I was brought there because the acting director at the time said to a student who is Dan Drummond, now this is 20 odd years ago, you know.
Wow.
And the student at a school of music in Jamaica had no idea. Okay? So you see how long your topic relevant?
Right.
All right. So the lady came to me and said, I need for you to teach here. So in that much as I have formal training and I play classical and read music and all of that and score and do orchestration and so on, I was brought to Edna Manley specifically to bring the knowledge of what we are talking about here to another generation.
Right.
I refused for a while. For a whole month, I tell the lady, no, my killer wouldn't know. Because I was wanting to do my own album, which I've just embarked on at this age, believe it or not. All these years I'm sitting there, everybody else singing.
Yeah.
So Stanley, hint, I need support. All right. So, so anyway, the long and the short of it is that I eventually went over there and stood in the room called room 13, where that room. And I honestly had a Damascus moment. I stood there looking at the youths and thinking, my God, I am 48. My generation is still on the road, touring, making fame, making money. and nobody not passing on to these youths.
There you
And I
go.
looked at my own life and realized that if somebody had not made the sacrifice to pass on something to me, I would never have even been here.
There you go.
So I said yes. And when I say sacrifice, you don't want to know how much I was being paid. You don't want to know. I will not even going to tell you.
Don't tell me.
Because it's interesting, our politicians. One of the gentlemen who went to school with me, who is now into politics big time, when he heard what I was getting paid, these are people who are supposed to care about the country, you know. When he heard what I was getting, when he heard what I was getting paid, him laugh and say, "But me have them kind of money there dash way." I'm not joking. So again, knowing that I need support for my album, I called him and reminded him, and I will say that he went into his pocket and has given me some good support. That's an aside. But I had to shame him.
Right.
Because you see, I have been in touch with young Jamaica, hands-on, every day, for 21 years. And we can tell you what they are feeling and what they are going through. And I want to use your program, sir,
Yes, sir.
to encourage people to support the program. I want to call foundation. We talk about that later. To support the program. Because I have students, male boys too, who can get a gun now. It's a serious matter. It's a serious matter. We don't realize that the DON does not have a procurement procedure.
Right.
And the DON don't have any committee to answer to. Okay? So our procedures are slow compared to a gang procedure.
Wow.
So this is a youth now who does not want to be a gangster. Nobody's telling him or her, you know. He want to play keyboard and he want to play bass and drum of his own volition. That needs support. That's the answer to what we're going through. Because if you don't get that support, as many of them have not, they drop out and then go shoot people. So I was proud to sit down and look at the whole of Buju Banton band, and every one of them I'm a student. Chronix band.
Wow.
Coffee band. Warrior King. Rebel. You hear me?
Yes.
You listen to me? And them come and them give me trouble like all youths give me trouble, you know. But I sit down. What does that have to do with the question? I think the future is in good hands, but I am like a voice crying in the wilderness, and I know Mr. Stanbury has been another voice like mine, that the thing needs support from the incubation period. The raw material that we have with our young people is way ahead of the rest of the world, to the extent that in the 80s I wrote this in a letter to our Prime Minister at the time, Mr. Patterson. But we lose them. And England, whose popular music industry started at the same time as ours.
Right.
Yes, exactly same time. And pound for pound don't have the talent we have, the raw material that we have. Because I taught in England, I'm saying, well, we're done with this. After a whole game, them can't play it. Come back to Jamaica and have some youth who can play with. See, no. And I come back to Jamaica and I have youth who can play without a music lesson. Them sit in a church and watch somebody and learn it. That's a fantastic mind. But we're not analyzing that because of our colonial culture and how we approach education. I'm going to go down in all that. I hope you have time.
No, we have the time, man. Lie, you have the time, right?
Right. So basically, what happened now is because of that.
Yeah.
Right? Those young years when the human body said, let us make babies. Right? They get distracted and we lose that talent. Because after them go make them two baby mother, they want a food. So them are going to hustle or crime. Get me?
Yeah.
And so England produces Adele. Because Adele is not a bat up and catch. Adele is not a tasty contest winner.
Right.
Adele was groomed from a child. You get me?
Yes.
So I will go to the grave bawling out for an incubation support. It's 30,000 for a drum set. I don't want to tell you how much for a 9 or a Glock. You know, you probably never know so it comes to serious. You know?
No, man, no. That's what
comes serious.
We bring you up on the show because we know you are the man. You are at the trough, so you see it, and that's why we want to use this program. Just as you said, there are a lot of people who watch this program.
Brethren, it reached a level. Here our music reach. We're talking about it. Me go complain and graphic. One of the biggest tune right now is a tune named Gunman Shift. It's not subtle. It is not subtle. And it's big among the youths. In other words, it's not even a little hide and listen tune, you know. The young DJ them have to play that at the dance right now. You get me?
Yeah.
So yeah, CG, we kind of eclipsed you a while ago. So the sun bright.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was excellent. I mean, it was good sitting down, listening to his wisdom, which will live on. And, you know, I'm happy that we took a decision some time ago to invest in Edna Manley. We have scholarships from the consulate, working with Louis Bennett Heritage Council. And we have also given scholarships to the Reggae Studies Unit at University of the West Indies. I'm not saying that in any way to beat our chest, just to say that one cocoa full basket, and for anybody listening to the program, is one thing to get up and dance and enjoy the music, but we also need to give back. As he's saying, an incubator unit is such an excellent investment. We need to invest in our young people coming up, those who have the affinity for the music, the affinity for the arts. And big up Lloyd Stanbury, big up Willie Stewart, after call those names, Mikey Bennett, who you'll have on the program. Each of those three gentlemen have done tremendous work. But anybody listening, let's find a way to give back to the music in a practical way, because as you heard, as a lecturer at the university, he was making peanuts, but he made that sacrifice. And all of his students now are performing with the big artists them and traveling around the world. So it's making an impact on the music. And so I want to use this office to salute the work of Ibo Cooper, salute the work of Inner Circle, Third World, and all the different groups who continue to make a difference and giving our youths another option, because we can't sit down here and talk about why crime rate high and we see a great avenue like the music and the arts and we don't actively support it, because it is a real option. We can't just celebrate with our artists, with our sports people, our cultural icons when they are on top. We have to support them at the ground level, at the incubator level. And so I concur with the legendary, the late Ibo Cooper, in his wise words. And he didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. He made sure that he excelled at the top. He showed the world great music, which will continue to live on. Almost every song that Third World and Inner Circle put out is a hit. You can listen to it over again. I mean, as you played, We're Moving Up, I mean, never remember about them tune, you know, and that's a big tune. And so tune after tune, Ibo Cooper has been a part of putting quality music and giving back to our young people. And so big up in true Jamaican style to this legend.
CG, we, them say prophet is usually not regaled or accepted in his own country, but in the case of a man like Ibo Cooper, without a doubt, he never even wait for that. Him just decides, say, watch out, him say many are called, but few are chosen. And him decides, say, the man him chose him, and him take 20 odd years is not a little any bit of time. And you as you pointed out in that little snippet from the lecture, because we're gonna feature more of that lecture throughout this program. Interspersed between the people who are going to be coming in and making their own contribution, while we still will, buttress the presentation with a few pieces of music. What I would encourage you to do CG, while they're there, is share this feed with your network, and let them join, because it is up to us to regale our heroes. And Ibo Cooper, without a doubt, is a hero. And so we are taking this time to dedicate these couple of hours to not just his memory, but the work that he has put in, and the effort that he has made, and to celebrate the fruits of the labor that he has done.
Definitely. And when he passed, when I got the news that he passed, the first song that came to mind, Sata Masagana, and he spoke about Jah glory, and so I
see
confident.
the glory in the morning sun.
That's right. And I'm confident that the ancestors have met him and said, "Job well done." And we know that his works will continue to live on. And I challenge each of us listening to say, what is it that we can do? Because he got an assignment from the Father and he executed. And each of us listening, we all have our individual assignments. And let us not look to another man. Let us look to what it is that we can do today to make a difference and ensure that our little action is completed, because we all have a limited time here. Even though before I came on this call, I was a part of a birthday celebration for a Jamaican who celebrated 103 years, Miss Beryl in Port St. Lucie. So she has been fortunate to live to 103, but how things running nowadays, boy, I'm seeing more and more people dropping out far earlier. So whatever time we have, starting today, make every day count. Whatever we have been given on our plate to do, let us do it and execute and make a difference, not just in our lives, but in the life of somebody else, especially in our homeland, Jamaica.
Well said, CG. Well said. Like you said, we're up on a break, but as you said, you get a turn, an innings at the wicket, you need to use it. Only a week and a half ago, we were in Jamaica, celebrating the life of my old lady who batted 90. She made 96, and well played 96 runs. And we look around and you see the multi generations that she sat, and I am a representation of that, and this is my little way of making my time count, where we use it, get the input of a man like Big G, who could have found a whole heap of thing to do with him time and could have made a whole heap more money. But him decides that this is worth the investment. My son Nicholas, who is, with us both on this little project here
On this project.
In fact, Ibo Cooper will run away with that statement to them. So there's no such little about way or not.
No, not at all.
And so, well, let's run to the break and we come right back. CG, stay with us.
All right. Okay.
Hi there. If you enjoyed that clip, go on over to our website at yardmedia.com, where you can watch the entire broadcast at your leisure. And while you're there, why don't you check out our other reggae music features? And before you leave, pick up some of our Jamaican reggae merchandise, and hey, don't forget to tell your friends.